Good morning. It is Thursday. Welcome to the show as we begin today. 65 right now. It's peaceful, nice outside as we wait for a high of 90 later today. That's the bad part, the bad news we had to tell you. Getting nearer and nearer to October, aren't we? This month is flying by. Today is the 19th of September as we begin this. School is back in. School bus is rolling this morning. Use caution as you're out and about. We'll update you on weather. We've got all that lined up for you. Headlines that are shaping America, and then at 7 o'clock we will get you up to date on all that's happening local. All that's on the way this morning as we begin this day together. How do you feel? It's a two-cupper for sure. Make sure to get your cup of ambition so you can face the world. We'll be right back as we'll start in on headlines as we head down to Collinsville to the First Baptist Church.
Disputes can be very difficult and delicate. Proverbs 18:17 says, "The first to present his case seems right, till another comes forward and questions him." When our American justice system works properly, it is one of the most valuable parts of our society because it allows for both sides of a case to be heard. In a criminal case, the burden of proof lies with the prosecution, so they are allowed to present their case first, but even then, the defense is allowed to cross-examine the prosecution's witnesses. It's a fundamental part of the system called due process. The system prevents a verdict from being handed down after hearing only one side of a case. We may find ourselves presented with the opportunity to help settle a dispute between friends, co-workers, or family members. One of the most important roles a person can play is that of a peacemaker. When we're in the middle of a dispute, it might be easy to come to a conclusion after hearing only one side of a dispute. But if we are ready to help make peace between those who are fighting, there will be a need to hear both sides of a dispute before coming to conclusions. Not only should both sides be heard, but questions should be asked to make sure that a conclusion is based on truth. Being a peacemaker is not about making both sides happy. It's about coming to the right conclusion and helping people move forward from there. There is so much conflict in our world. Let's ask God to give us opportunity to be peacemakers and help people not just tolerate each other, but settle conflict based on truth from both sides. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. Hope you'll join them Sunday morning. Services get underway around 10:15. They'd love to have you as a guest there. Pick a church near you. You'll enjoy yourself there. Always some good things happening in our area there. Wesley joins us from Zero this morning. How are you doing? John is up. Also, Miss Diane Hale. How are you doing? Got Elvis as that profile picture. I like that. Bill Payne, good morning from the great state of Texas. Always good to see Texas joining us. I'm not going to lie. I always get very, very nervous when I drive through Houston, Texas for any reason whatsoever. It's bad out there. Traffic galore there. Tennessee joining us as well. Lauderdale, Mississippi. I see you as well on our agenda today. Great to have y'all with us there. Let's see here. As they had celebrations this week, kind of early as they're raising funds, as they usually do, but Jimmy Carter, y'all remember him? A big concert, and it was a benefit as they raised money to give to some of the organizations that he believes in. Jimmy Carter will be turning 100 on October the 1st. In Atlanta, they held concerts this week in commemoration of that and gave all the proceeds to the charities that Jimmy supports. That will make him the oldest, he is rather, the oldest living president. That will probably make him, it will be the 100, just a few days away. Don't count the man out. What was it, a little over a year ago? They called in hospice, and we all thought that was it. Jimmy Carter still hanging on. And we wish him a very big one. That'll be here before you know it, about 10, 12 days away from October the 1st. Dolly. Now, I've read this, and I didn't say anything about it. There was really no need to. Beyonce. Number one, the CMAs aren't what they used to be, but for whatever reason, she was not nominated for a country album after her album sold millions, or how many ever it was, and they seem to be highly upset that she was not nominated for a CMA award. Dolly speaks out. And Dolly just has, it was almost that they were accusing the CMA of dissing her on purpose. But Dolly just has such an elegant way of wording things. She came out in an interview this week and said that she thought the album was great and she thought she'd done a good job. She goes, no, I don't think they snubbed her. She said there's people that do this every single day that don't get recognized either. She made it sound a whole lot better. Lean on Dolly. Dolly always makes it make sense. And I do believe they tried to make something out of nothing. It wasn't country. It was a great sounding album, but again, the stuff they call country isn't what most of us would call country. That's beside the fact there. The CMAs are still the Country Music Awards. They didn't recognize her, and Dolly says it's okay. There's a lot of other people that hadn't been nominated. I have to tend to agree with Dolly on that. We look at this, and often you get that little piece of paper for your kids to go somewhere. You sign off on it's okay to go on a field trip. We've seen those. Horror happened. It hardly even moving fast. Kids went to an apple orchard, and I believe this was in Wisconsin. As they were coming down a hill, most likely something broke on the trailer, and it overturned. Dozens had to be taken to hospitals. Oh boy, that's bad. There's it overturned and fell on a few people there. They've taken, I think it's 3 people that were considered serious injuries with that. The unthinkable can happen. It always does. As we remember a few years ago, the unthinkable on a Halloween. Y'all remember that? Trailer being hit from behind. As we get ready for Halloween, please keep that in mind. Lights, and more lights. And it doesn't hurt to have someone follow behind. Blinkers on if you're going on a hayride on a road. I want to make sure that everybody's as safe as it can be. Let's see here. Passports. Now, I don't have one. I don't generally leave the U.S. of A. My son does. He has one. But you'll be able, moving forward, to renew these fully online. That's probably a big step. I think right now you have to go to an office and redo them. There's a lot of people that do have to go abroad with their jobs and whatnot, and I understand that. But you'll be able to renew it there online. We never ever, when cases make the news, we don't always know what goes on. We know a charge, and a lot of times that's it. Atlantic City, I know where I'm talking about. I think it's where gambling may have started. They've got a mayor there. He and his wife are being accused of abusing their daughter. As you read into this, we don't, again, know everything, but he's accused of taking a broom and whooping his daughter with it, basically, is what it says. Now, do we know the circumstances? No. He says he's not guilty whatsoever. That's the headline. Again, none of us really know what went on behind closed doors, but supposedly a broom and a whooping. We'll leave it at that. Harvey Weinstein, we all know him as the creep from Hollywood. And never ever think that it's just Hollywood. There's creeps everywhere when we refer to this. Harvey, if you really don't remember or go out and remember the name, was a Hollywood executive. And well, to be in a movie, if you were a female, you basically had to have sex with him as you wipe away all the fancy words and you get down to it. New charges have been filed against him. He's claiming he's innocent. But as we all know, this is in every walk of life. And it doesn't always just apply to females either. We know that. There's a dirty, mean world out there full of people like that. Never forget, take care of your babies, no matter where they go, what they do. Keep that in mind. Teamsters. That always sound tough, doesn't it? The Teamsters Union. Well, the first time in many, many years, they're not going to endorse either political candidate for president of the U.S. of A. It says they're breaking the decades of president. Wow. And no, I don't know which end of the broom. I'm assuming it was the brush end, but I don't know that. A lot we don't know that. Billie Jean King, y'all remember that name? She was a tennis player. She looked like she could whoop me. She was tough back in the day. Looks like she'll be getting a female, well, not a female, but she'll be getting a congressional gold medal. They're going to have legislation. She'll get a big award for doing a lot for the females in sports. Congratulations to her. We're proud of her. Glad that she done that. Let's see what else happened this weekend. Philadelphia teenager, I think he was about 18, has been arrested for making, well, weapons of mass destruction, I guess is what we should call this. He had planned and supposedly had been dealing with a foreign entity to place these in garbage cans during a route of a parade. He's been arrested. They're disposing of all. There's evil in this world, isn't it? That's one of those. It hurts you to think that people want to hurt innocent people. Why? They can't defend themselves. But our world is full of that. We see that worldwide every day. Delta Airlines, as we see this, we've got some passengers that were hurt. Severe cabin pressure. Had some issues there. Bloody noses and bloody ears. They were rushed to the hospital. Salt Lake City to Portland, Oregon is where the flight was headed. In the end, they'll probably be okay, but it's still a scary situation regardless of what went on with that. What else do we got going on? Did I mention this this week? I meant to talk about it yesterday. I remember as a kid seeing it, and he used to have those parties at everybody's house. Odie was at them. I can see him now. He put sandwiches in them. The Tupperware party. Do you see where they filed for bankruptcy this week? Boy, have we got changes coming. Tupperware was big, but there's not a lot of, and if y'all remember, I think another company that was real similar to that was Amway. You remember that? Have people? Things have changed since the internet buying power is out there. Used to, you had to have the salesman for the Amway come to your home and such, and I think that was a pyramid. I could be wrong, but Amway, that's not as strong as it used to be either. Small thoughts there. Tupperware, though, going under. There's a lot of brands that do the same thing now that you don't have to have the Tupperware brand, I guess. Lower cost. That's probably hurt the industry as well. And at one point, you could only buy it from salesmen, right? It was not an online business. Again, Sears didn't do that either, and look what happened there. Amazon took them out. The Sears Roebuck catalog was the biggest thing the world had ever seen. They were on top of it and already had the stuff cataloged. All they had to do was put it online. Somebody didn't see the future there, did they? Just saying. Let's see what else we have going on this morning. Criminals, they're not dumb a lot of times. They're very educated in how they do things. Check cashing businesses. We've got them all around here. Atlanta, they just busted on right through the roof. They didn't come through a door. They came through the roof and dropped through the ceiling tile, robbed the business, then walked out the back door. Took a lot of cash during a major time. Forced the young lady at work to go to the safe and dump all the cash that they had there. They're still at large in Atlanta. Here's a good deed, as you often take people hunting with you. A man had taken his son bear hunting. He had shot a bear, and well, he went down and he got attacked by the bear. His 12-year-old son had to finish off the bear to get it off his dad. Again, I don't like hunting nothing that can eat me. I've never been bear hunting, but apparently it's a big sport. Now, locally, is it the black bear that won't hurt you?
Pretty much. Yeah.
The black bear is pretty common. We have some around here. And yes, I don't have all the details, but there was one, if I am not mistaken, that was killed near us, a black bear. That am I right on that?
Yeah.
It was out by the airport somewhere. It had a tag and was killed. I don't know the rest of the story. I've gotten bits and pieces of this in our area, and this has been within the last 3-4 months. So
Oh, yeah, it ain't been long.
it hadn't been all that long ago. But something happened. I just don't have the details on that. Black bears. I didn't say that black bear wouldn't scare me now. I don't care if they do say it won't hurt you. It's like a snake. I ain't gonna have one of them for a pet either. Care what you say. As a matter of fact, we were talking about that people that had them for pets, those pythons. I saw where a woman was nearly killed to where her pet wrapped around her. Nearly killed her. Y'all watch what you have as pets. There's some things I don't think you should. Leave it alone. Vermont ending. Well, no, we don't hear a lot about Vermont other than Bernie and its cold weather. Not a whole lot goes on up there. Emergency room motels, emergency money. Y'all remember that? That was put on during the pandemic is ending, and they're having to evacuate motels. Where will they go? I don't know. But that's happening in Vermont. There's so many of these programs. We're how many years after that pandemic thing? This is 24. That was basically 20. Was it 22 or was it 20?
20 to 22.
20 to 22. They've been living in motels and the taxpayers have been paying for this all along. Our country's deep in debt, folks. We pay for things that we have no idea about. Not to mention the foreign countries that give away money to, but there's programs that there's a lot of able-bodied Americans that can do better for themselves than relying on you. That's what I'm getting at. Y'all know where that story goes and how it ends. We'll be right back as we get into your forecast to try to shake off the news and give you some weather, some sunshine. All that's next this morning at the Scotty Ray Report. When it's time to store something, think Store Local Storage. It's conveniently located next to Northeast Park, and it's gated. On top of that, it's climate control, so no matter the season, it'll protect your things. 24-hour security, a covered loading dock, fire sprinklers, and you can choose the storage unit that suits your needs. From a 5x5 all the way up to a 10x30, you choose the space that you need. Call Store Local Storage today at 601-490-1618, Highway 39 North, Meridian.
2024 Kia Sportages have rates as low as 0.9%. The 2024 Kia Sorento has interest rates as low as 0.9%. We've got 2024 Kia Fortes for as low as $349 a month, $349 a month. Come see us at Kia of Meridian.
Welcome back as we get this day underway. Already 13 before the hour. Again, a lot of local events up and coming this morning. We'll tell you about the whodunits and all that good stuff. Right now, let's get into the forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we go back for those record highs and record lows, anybody remember 1925? I sure don't, but it was 99 degrees if you were here on that date. Back in 81, it was a cool 42 this morning. That's jacket weather. Woof, that was a cold one there. Now, the outlook for today, let's get into that as we look at this, as we look at the Meridian area, 90 to 91, depending upon where you're standing. As we go northward from here, Columbus, 89-ish. We'll see Greenwood about 90 and stay that temperature all the way down the Mississippi River to Natchez as you get off there with the Montebellum homes. As we go east into Bama, we'll see 90 in Demopolis and there in Livingston as well. Over to Birmingham, about 88. Not much difference in temperature there today. Over to Auburn, War Eagle, we'll see about 88 as well. Down to Dothan in Peanut Country, we should see about 88 as well. As we glance across the U.S. of A., here we go. Warmer in that South Texas portion there. If you're getting down near Brownsville, Laredo, that way, it's warmer. As we get toward Mississippi, it's slowly making its way. As we look at our 7-day forecast now, here's what we have. Today, 90 for a high. We have 0% chance of rain, 67 tonight. You started this morning out at 65. Wasn't it nice? I love mornings like this. By tomorrow, we'll end the week with 91. Over the weekend, look at this. If you've got an outdoor event, and I think there's several things happening. Saturday, 92, 0% chance of rain, 67 for the low. And it looks like Sunday we'll have the same. Perfect weather for church. 92, you'll have to use that air conditioner, don't get me wrong, but nighttime lows are 68. By Tuesday, we start seeing 80-something again, high 80s. By Wednesday, we're at 86, and let's go another couple of days into this. Ooh, we see 70s. Anybody notice that? We'll watch next week's weather as well. We'll get to that hurricane forecast there that we're watching. 79, 78. We'll stay in the 70s. It looks like starting about the 27th all the way through October the 3rd. Cooler weather. Makes you think of football games, doesn't it? It does. All right, let's look at our fishing forecast for today, find out when we need to be out and about as we pull that up. Perfect time today is going to be somewhere around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Let's call it 2 to 4 if you've got the time to go fishing. The wind will be calm north-northwest around 5 miles an hour this afternoon. Not bad at all. Now, here's the million-dollar question as we start watching all of this. 2 storms here in the Atlantic building, a 40% chance. This looks harmless to anyone. A 20% chance of this, possibly. We don't know the direction. This is areas of concern. We're starting to see all of this forming and possibly next week becoming something in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, it's not 100% confirmed, but we're starting to see that up through here, spaghetti models showing somewhere around Florida, northeastern Florida there, the Panhandle area. We'll watch this. It's a lot to decide and see between now and then. Let's go back to radar and take a look at see what all we've got this morning with radar, what it has to offer. And let's see. Here we go. As we look at what's going on here, the big picture. As we zoom into the Mississippi, we start moving on this, and they haven't even gotten, let's see here, spaghetti models. We hadn't gotten anything for spaghetti models on this radar yet. We'll wait on it. Showers off the coast of Charleston. As we look here, as we go to the Baton Rouge area there, a lot of fog there right at the Mississippi line. Be cautious, those areas. We don't have any advisories in Mississippi this morning, but always remember those low-lying areas, especially in South Mississippi. As we look east, we see a little bit around Gadsden, and the further you get into Tennessee and northern Georgia, look at that, Knoxville, those areas northeast of Murfreesboro, a lot of fog into Kentucky this morning. Asheville, lots going on there as well. Mississippi is all clear. A little bit of fog just due west of Houston as well today. Not a bad forecast to start this Thursday, is it? Already 6:51. We're going to get coffee in just a second. We're going to have our pot ready. We hope you'll go get yours. We're going to give you a couple of times to get that robe on, get back over to the phone or the television set, however you watch us. We appreciate it. We'll be back in just a moment as we'll go live. Again, right now, it's a nice, cool 65 outside. A great morning to watch and sit on your front porch. We'll be right back live with all your local headlines beginning at 7 here at the Scotty Ray Report. Join us, won't you?